In this lesson, we're going to cover how to suppress features and how to reorder features within the browser. The file that I'm currently in is called suppress.ipt, and it can be found in your Chapter 8 exercise folder. Sometimes as you're working, you may want to turn off the visibility of selected features. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select a few features in the browser, going to right-click, and then from the menu, click on Suppress Features. And you'll see that a line is going across these given features. As I spin the model around, you'll see that they're no longer being calculated. I can bring these features back one at a time if I just right-click, unsuppress features, or if I hold down the Control key, I can do multiple at a time to unsuppress them. So you can just do them individually as well, as shown here. So let's bring that one back. Another useful tool is to use the end of the part marker. So let's say, for example, when I went back here and did extrusion 1, I really wanted to place in a hole up here. So what I can do is grab the end of the part marker, pull it up. I'm going to place it right after extrusion 1. I'm going to just use the hole tool. And let's place in a point there. We'll make it a little bit smaller. And let's make it a through all hole too. There we go for the linear. We'll come back off this front edge and that top edge, and we'll apply that. So now that I have the hole in there, you'll notice that I have extrusion 1, then hole 1. Then I can grab the end of the part, pull it down. As you can see, I can pull them down individually here. And this is a nice way to go back and also see how someone may have created the part. Another way of using this, so let's say right after I placed in that hole, I wanted to take this part in an entirely different direction, and I didn't want to have all these features below it. What you can do is right-click, and then delete all features below EOP, which is end of part, and then everything will be gone. Another method is going to be to conditionally suppress features. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start up a new part file. I'm just going to draw in a rectangle. And before applying a dimension here, what I'm going to do is we're going to come on down and we're going to create a parameter. In this case, we'll just call it length. And I'm going to put the equation in just at 50 millimeters. That's going to be the only one that we're going to need in this case. I'm going to apply a dimension, and let's get that equal to length. And let's just go ahead and extrude that. So now what I'm going to do is make that top plane the active sketch. I'm just going to draw in another slot here. In this case, let's apply a couple dimensions to it. Let's make it 10 millimeters in from each side. In this case, that's all I'm really concerned about in this lesson here. Obviously, you could go back and apply other dimensions. I'm just going to go ahead and click on Return. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude our rectangle out, and let's do a cut all the way through. So we have our simple extrusion as shown here. Now what I'd like to do is put a condition on that extrusion. Let's say, for example, if that length parameter goes smaller than 40 millimeters, I would like that extrusion to be suppressed. To do that, move my cursor back over extrusion 2, right-click, and then select Properties from the menu. So you'll notice extrusion 2, I'm going to say suppress if the value, in this case, the parameter is length. As you see, it also will list all of the other dimensions in there, but length is what I want. Now I can select my different operations. So in this case, let's say less than or equal to, and I'm going to say 40 millimeters. And let's go ahead and click on OK. So now if I go back and change the parameters value, so right now we're at 50. So if I make it 40, update, you'll notice that it automatically gets updated to suppress that feature. So if I go back and change this to 41 and do an update, the extrusion 2 comes back into play. For the last portion of the exercise, we're going to talk about reordering features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this extrusion, and then I'm going to simply go back and shell out this part. And now let's go back. I'm going to place in some fillets on the outside edges here. So we'll just select those edges. Go ahead and click on OK. And everything looks okay, but maybe what I should have done is placed in the fillets before I shelled it. So instead of going back and deleting everything, what I can do is I can just grab that fillet and pull it above the shell in the browser, or vice versa. It doesn't matter which one we do. So let's do one more. I'm going to go back. In this case, I'm going to place in a hole. I'm going to spin this to the bottom, and I'm just going to pick a point. Let's make it fairly large. Let's make it 10 so we can see it. And we'll just come back off these outside edges, the default value. So we definitely have a hole right in the middle of our part. So again, now if I grab that hole and pull it above the shell, you see that I get an entirely different result based on what I've done with the operation here. So again, if I just pull that back, the hole is just a regular hole. If I bring the shell down, it's shelling that information way back to the 1 millimeter. That's kind of why I get the cone shape up on the hole. And of course, let's go back. We can edit that hole as well. So right now it's just through with a distance, and that's not what I want to do. Let's just do through all, and that looks a lot better. So depending upon the features that you have and the order that you have them, you can get very different results.